Hello and welcome to Gindy's Videos. I'm David E. McClendon Sr., also known as Gindy. Today is November the 15th, 2015, and it's a Sunday, and I wanted to tell these stories to get them on record at the request of my daughter Megan McClendon. We call her Maggie, because she wanted future generations to be able to hear these stories. Some of them are funny, some of them are cute, most of them are just family stories, and you won't elicit a chuckle, but it will give you an idea of what our family's been like throughout the years. Now, this particular story was told to me by my grandmother, Ruby Fowler McClendon. She was married to my grandfather, Robert Bruce McClendon Sr., and of course she was the mother of my father, Robert Bruce McClendon Jr., and I'm Robert Bruce McClendon's oldest son. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you this. First of all, you need to understand that Papa Bruce, which is my father, was known as RB for Robert Bruce when he was growing up. His family called him RB. His daddy was Bruce. And, of course, my Uncle Carl was Carl. And they were both very skittish about ghosts, goblins, dead people, that type of thing. So some of the stories that you hear about them in a graveyard, you know, could not possibly have ever happened. But this one did happen. My grandmother told it as being true. And I don't know that my grandmother ever once told me a lie. Anyway, as my grandmother tells it, one night my father was late coming home from wherever it was, and they lived out, not exactly in the city, out to where it would be a good little walk. Back then everyone walked, and that's probably why everyone was skinnier than they are now, but everyone walked everywhere they went. It was just after the Depression as he was growing up. My father was born in 1935, and so that would be, the Depression was pretty much eased off by this time, but still everybody was saving their money. They're not investing in anything that they didn't have to have, and that's the way things were back then. If you didn't need it, you didn't buy it. And if you did need it, you'd made it yourself, if at all possible. And that's got nothing to do with this story. But my father was walking home from the wherever it was that he had been. It was late at night. And my grandmother heard my father coming. And she got this little devilish streak in her, which is part of our family characteristic, is this little devilish streak. And she lowered my Uncle Carl out the side window of the house and put a sheet on top of him, like a ghost. And about the time my father got up on the front porch, he noticed that the light was out, which was unusual. He got up on the front porch, and my uncle came from around the side of the house. And of course my father didn't decide to sit there and ascertain the nature of this booger that was after him. He let out. And he went next door, ran next door to the neighbor's house, which was within sight, but still a good distance down the road. He ran all the way. He got up on the front porch, and he's knocking on the door and knocking on the door, and Carl's chasing after him. And my daddy's out there, let me in, it's a ghost, let me in. And about the time the neighbors got to the door, they saw little Carl going, and they got a good laugh about what was going on. My father realized what was going on, and he didn't have a good laugh with it, but Carl and my grandmother had a great laugh with it. And like I said, if it's a lie, my grandmother told it, which that's an old Southern expression. You'd say, if it's a lie, so-and-so told it, when you're doing the retelling. Anyway, drop us an email at gindysvideos@gmail.com. That's gindysvideo@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, if you're one of my family members and you have suggestions for stories that you'd like to hear me tell, let me know, and I'll be happy to tell it if I remember the situation. And if not, maybe I'll make it up. Thank you.